I was fortunate enough to just interview the CEO of Rethink X. That's Tony Sieber's company. And he said nearly every job will be lost. Nearly all of them. And he gave a prediction, a timeline for when that's going to happen. Now, if you want to see that video, the full video, it's in our members section on the channel. I'll put a link in the description below. But it appears to me those jobs are being lost at a rapid pace in the West already. Robots, robotics, automation is replacing humans. And it's happening faster than we ever thought it would. Hey guys, I've got an EcoFlow Delta 2 right here and the Delta Pro, which is about 4 times bigger than this. I've used them over the past 2 months many times. I didn't think I would, but I've needed them. There's been electrical problems in the house. There's been massive storms here in Australia. They've been absolutely, for me, game-changing, life-saving. Up to 45% off sale. I'll put a link in the description, and I think that's on for the next 3 weeks. So click on that link. You can take advantage and get one of these batteries for a really good price. 20,000 workers have left. I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen quite this fast. 20,000, and it's only been a couple of months. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. The Volkswagen Group, they say they need to save $11 billion. That's a lot of money. And they also say that it's very expensive to make cars, particularly in Germany. Now, Volkswagen actually announced less than 6 months ago that they would cut more than 35,000 jobs across Germany by 2030. It's very hard to fire people in Germany because of the labor unions. And there's actually rules with full-time employees in Germany which make it quite difficult to fire employees. However, you would think it would take, a lot longer than really what's only been a few months for 20,000 employees to agree to leave, but they have. And why are they agreeing to leave so soon? Well, some analysts say it's because they believe that they're jumping off a sinking ship. And they're taking a few gold bars with them when they jump. Sort of makes sense, doesn't it? It is a sinking ship, I think, and it does make sense to leave now. At least, here's the thing. If you look at what analysts are saying that most car factories, particularly in the West, aren't competitive. And Chinese car factories, they're putting as much automation in as possible. In fact, a lot of factories in China don't even have the lights on because they don't have any people working in them. Not car factories yet to that extent, but eventually that's what will happen. So most automotive production lines around the world, staff will be gone. It makes sense to take a good deal now if you can. While speaking during a recent company meeting at Volkswagen's headquarters in Wolfsburg, its Chief Human Resources Officer, Gunnar Killian, confirmed that 20,000 departures have already been agreed on, and the staff have already agreed to it. These employees are apparently going to an early retirement and getting some severance packages on the way. The first measures of the future Volkswagen agreement are taking effect, and we are on track, said Killian, with measurable progress in factory costs in Wolfsburg and the socially acceptable job cuts at Volkswagen AG's 6 German locations alone. We are accelerating our transformation. Volkswagen have also been looking at negotiating with a Chinese car company, could be BYD, could be Geely, to actually handing over 2 of their car factories to one of, some Chinese car company. But here's the thing. The Volkswagen Group needs to lower production numbers by around 750,000 in terms of car production. They have way too much production capacity. Their factories are making cars well under their production capacity, which means they are very, very inefficient. And this means that the current Emden site will continue to build the ID4 and ID7. The Osnabrück factory will stop producing the T-Roc Cabriolet in mid-2027. Apparently, the Volkswagen ID3, its production will shift. They're saying shift, but they don't know where. They're saying a third-party scheme. In other words, the Volkswagen Group will do what I think many of us have been expecting, what Nissan's now planning on doing, make EVs in China and ship those around the world to anywhere that there are no tariffs. Chief Financial Officer David Powers acknowledged the company still has considerable ground to cover before it can call its restructuring a success. The goal is to make Volkswagen both competitive and financially sustainable by 2029. In other words, it's not competitive or financially sustainable today. The trajectory that Volkswagen's been on lately, though, is really, really terrible because not long ago, their profits as a group were around 15%, even higher, even 18% for some of the brands. They've now fallen to about 6%, and that could continue this year. The tightening of belts, though, isn't limited to the assembly line. Reuters says that the Volkswagen board members will see their salaries and bonuses reduced over the next 5 years. Pay will drop by 11% in 2025 and again in 2026, followed by smaller reductions through to 2029. These cuts are expected to save the company around 15 billion euros, so around $16 billion. Is this going to be enough? The Volkswagen Group has just over $200 billion of debt. That's a lot of debt. And their sales, of course, have been declining significantly in China. I think it's possible these employees are like, well, let's jump. Why not? Now's a good time to jump. But here's the thing. These job losses in Germany are going to snowball. We're seeing bankruptcies increase at a rapid pace. Automotive News reported today about all the bankruptcies happening. So this is really going to be a tough time for Germany's economy over the next 10 years. Really, really difficult time. Germany and Japan in particular. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about what's happening? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Bye-bye. What I've been saying for some time now is beginning to come true. There is no doubt about this. This is directly from German media. They say the crisis at Volkswagen will continue. Reason enough for the experts at rating agency Moody's to warn their clients of the increased risk associated with lending to the Volkswagen Group. Isn't this what just happened to Nissan? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. If you'd like to become a YouTube member, that'd be great. I'll put a link in the description below. Volkswagen Group. I've been warning for quite a long time now that this would happen. There is actually, if you Google Electric Viking Volkswagen, first thing that comes up is people complaining on Volkswagen forums that I'm a Volkswagen shill, that I'm just bashing them. And this was about 3 or 4 years ago, they said this. I had no evidence, there was no facts that Volkswagen Group was they were in no trouble whatsoever, no issues going on there. No, they don't have $200 billion in debt. Just pretend that doesn't exist. It's not real. It's just, it's pretend, it's fantasy. Don't think about that. Don't think about that. Don't think about that, because the Volkswagen Group are perfectly fine, except that they're firing 35,000 staff and they're in a crisis. They have said publicly, their CFO has said publicly, the house is on fire. The Volkswagen financial house is on fire. Now, Moody's ratings agency appears to actually agree with that. Moody's has downgraded Volkswagen's creditworthiness. The rating for the long-term bonds has been lowered from A3 to Baa1. This sort of thing does happen for various companies, but not usually when you're one of the biggest companies on the planet.